Okay, we're in McClenny. We're standing in front of the Burnstead blockhouse. In 1822-23, as Territorial Governor Andrew Jackson ordered a string of these block fortresses. These were essentially homes, but they were they were forts. They were essentially forts. And they're built like a fort. There's some windows on these here, doors, but those are not original doors. This is this is the only surviving original structure. This is restored, but much of the wood, you can see some of the wood right here in front of us, is completely new. This was moved twice. It's named Burnstead because a man named Burnstead, born in 1817, lived in it. He was the first known resident of this house, and he built an addition onto it to make it more livable. And it was moved here in the 70s, I believe it was, 1970s. It's astonishing. It's absolutely amazing. It was built with gun ports. It was built with closed windows, shutters essentially. It was meant as a defense against attack, plain and simple. And it looks very formidable. Imagining a lot of the wood would be difficult to burn, because that would have been a favorite Indian tactic, would have been burning. But see the separation between the two buildings. This is the addition, for lack of a better term, and this was the original. It is hand hewn. I don't know the name for it, but I'll show you here. It's a interlocking system on the corners. Like I said, I know there's a name for it. I've heard it before, but this is just pretty cool. It's just very amazing how they would have had to have done these one by one, set it on top, put the other one, set it on top of the other one, set it on top of the other one. So they would have been done in conjunction. Like not one side would have been built and then the other would have been all together. It would have just been one course at a time. You have the wooden pegs here. So this is original right here. This is astonishing. We're gonna see if we can see it inside a little bit. Probably not too much. Some. This is a fort. That's all it was. It was you lived here, but it was built as a fort to protect against Indian attack. This was, in those days, the frontier. As time went on, it became more and more civilized and less frontier-ish, but when it was built, you were very much concerned about Indian attack. That was the number one killer. That's interesting. So I'll go around it on the other side of it. It's amazing. This is what drew us out here. This is compelling. I never heard about that, and I don't know how many of these were built. They say that they can trace 3 of them having back to the beginning, and so that the others would have been completely destroyed. And this is the last surviving one, the last surviving house, blockhouse, and they call this the Burnstead blockhouse for James Burnstead, who lived here. I can't imagine what it would have been like to live in something like that, or any of these. It's a classic cracker construction off the ground, so the airflow, whatever air there is flowing, will come through and cool. Heat rises, so they would have had tall high ceilings. This is all original here. Hand-hewn original. And you can tell the difference between the different milling methods or the different milling production results. This is all new and you can tell it's new. And this is all old and you can tell it's old, and it was hand-hewn. It's not perfect, it's bumpy, it's rigidy, there's a lot of gouges in it. And again, on this side we see the construction method. This is astonishing. This is a very, very, very amazing example of Florida history. Earlier than anything we see down our way, or further south. The first Europeans didn't move in that area until the 40s, and this was built on this frontier 20 years earlier than that. So that's about it. It's just amazing. Just wanted to see it, stand in front of it, touch it, talk about it. Pretty cool, pretty cool. The Burnside Blockhouse.